Once upon a time in a busy city, there was a little girl who always told the truth. Her name was Lily, and she had a big heart and an even bigger imagination. She would spend hours and hours creating stories and would tell them to anyone who'd listen. Now, Lily loved living in the city because there were so many people around that wanted to hear her stories. But one day her family decided to move to a small village far away. Lily was very upset when she heard this because she wouldn't have anyone to tell her stories to. When they arrived in the village, they moved into a big, beautiful house with a garden full of flowers and vegetables. But Lily wasn't interested in playing outside. She just sat inside all day making up stories about brave princesses and magical dragons. One day, while she was playing, her mom came up to her and said, "Why aren't you outside playing? The weather's beautiful today." "I don't want to play outside," Lily replied. "There's no one here to listen to my stories. And what good are stories if no one listens?" Lily's mom sat down next to her and said, "You're right, sweetheart, but why don't you go to the village square? There are always people there, and maybe they'll like your stories." Lily thought this was a great idea, so she put on her shoes, grabbed her favorite teddy bear, Mr. Grumbles, and off she went. When she arrived at the square, she saw lots of people sitting on benches, some feeding birds, and some just enjoying the warm sunshine. Lily walked up to a group of children and asked, "Would you like to hear a story?" "Sure," said one of the boys. "Tell us a story about a princess," said another. So Lily sat down and closed her eyes. She began, "Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a beautiful princess who lived in a tall tower." As she told her story, the children listened intently. They were completely captivated by her tale. After her story ended, the children clapped and cheered. "That was a wonderful story," said one of the girls. "Can you tell us another one?" asked the boy. But Lily shook her head. "I can't remember any more," she lied. To be honest, she had many more stories in her head, but she didn't want to tell them. She wanted the children to ask for more, and they did. They begged and pleaded with her until she finally agreed to tell them another story. And so, Lily continued to make up enchanting tales about princesses and dragons and magical lands. The children were so entertained that they forgot all about feeding the birds and collecting seashells. They just wanted to hear more stories. After Lily had told all the stories she could think of, the children thanked her for entertaining them and went back to their games. Lily sat on a bench watching them play. She was very happy that she had made so many friends and that they enjoyed her stories. From that day on, whenever Lily went to the village square, a crowd of children would gather around her, just waiting for her to start telling stories. She would happily oblige and would spend hours each day entertaining them. Now, even though Lily loved telling stories to the children, she also loved spending time with her teddy bear, Mr. Grumbles. He would often sit with her on the bench while she told her stories. But one day, Mr. Grumbles got tired of sitting quietly while Lily told her stories. "I want to be in the stories," he said. "I want to be a brave knight who rescues a princess from a dragon." Lily laughed and said, "Oh, Mr. Grumbles, you're not very good at being a brave knight. You're too small and you always run away before the dragon arrives." "I am not," Mr. Grumbles shouted. "I am the bravest knight in the whole wide world. Just wait until I get my armor." As Mr. Grumbles spoke, a small bird flew down and landed on his nose. He let out a loud squeak and fell off the bench. "See," Lily said, giggling, "you're not a very good knight. Can't even stand still when a tiny bird lands on you." I'm not scared of birds," Mr. Grumbles said, his voice shaking. "Just, allergic to feathers." "Ah, right, Mr. Grumbles," Lily said. "How about this? If you stay perfectly still for 5 minutes without running away or falling over, I will add you into my next story, and you can be the best knight in the whole wide world." Mr. Grumbles thought for a moment. He really did want to be in one of Lily's stories, so he sat down on the bench and closed his eyes. But just as Lily turned to start her story, Mr. Grumbles suddenly jumped up and ran off as fast as he could. Now, Lily was very surprised. She didn't know that Mr. Grumbles was such a coward. She continued with her story without him. And when it was finished, the children cheered and asked for more. But Lily just sat there thinking about how Mr. Grumbles had run away. She finally decided that it was time to go home. So she stood up and started walking toward her house. Suddenly, she heard someone call her name. She turned around and saw one of the children from the square running toward her. "Lily, I lost my puppy," he said, out of breath. "I let him off his leash for a second, and then he ran away. Have you seen him anywhere?" "No, I'm sorry, Lily replied. But why don't you ask the lady over there? She has a big farm, and maybe your puppy is with her animals. The boy thanked her and ran off to find his pet. After a few minutes, Lily continued on her way home. She walked past the farms and vegetable gardens until she arrived at a tall wall with a big metal gate. As she walked along the wall, she saw a small opening where someone had pushed aside some of the rocks and vines. She looked through and saw a little puppy hiding there. It was the same puppy that the boy was looking for. Lily smiled and said, "Hello there, little puppy. Are you lost?" She reached out her hand, but the puppy started barking and growling. "Don't be afraid," Lily said. "I won't hurt you. I'll help you find your owner." Slowly, the puppy stopped barking and licked her hand. Then Lily did something very clever. She took off her shoe and put it near the opening. She knew that the boy had probably lost his shoe while running after his pet. When he found it, he would know that she had found his puppy, and he could come and get them both. After a while, Lily heard footsteps near the wall. She hid behind a bush and watched as a boy ran up to the wall. He looked around to see if anyone was there, then picked up the shoe and gently petted the puppy. "Thank you for finding him, Lily," the boy said. "I was so worried I'd never see him again." "But how did you know I'd be here?" "I saw you running earlier," Lily replied. "And when I saw the puppy hiding here, I knew you'd lost your pet. And I knew you'd probably lose your shoe while running after him, so I left it here for you to find." The boy was amazed. "Wow, you're so smart, Lily. Can you come to my house? My mom will bake you some cookies and we can play with the puppies together." "I'd love to," Lily said, smiling. And so she spent the rest of the afternoon playing with the puppy and drinking hot chocolate with the boy and his mom. They were so grateful that Lily had helped them find their pet. As the sun began to set, Lily knew it was time to go home. She said goodbye to her new friends and started walking away. But before she could take many steps, she heard the boy call her name. "Lily, I forgot to give you this," he said, handing her a beautiful necklace made out of colorful stones. "So thank you for helping me find my puppy. We don't know what we'd have done without you." Lily was so happy that she'd made a new friend and that he'd given her such a beautiful present. She wore the necklace all the time and never forgot the day she'd helped the boy find his lost puppy. From that day on, Lily continued to live in the village, and she was very happy. She made lots of new friends and had many exciting adventures. Whenever she told her stories in the village square, they would always ask her for more and more. After all, Lily's stories were the best in the whole wide world.